He will never leave you nor forsake you. He will be with you even until the end. It says if you make your bed in hell, that God would still be with you. I am so thankful for someone that loves me, a Father that loves me so much. There is nothing I can do to change His mind. There's nowhere I can go that He won't go and find me. That He'll reach His hand down into sin. He'll reach His hand down into shame and pick me up out of it. I'm glad that He didn't expect me to be perfect. But He paid the ultimate sacrifice for me in spite of my sin, in spite of knowing who I am. You know what is wrong with us? We don't get excited enough about the cross of Calvary. We have forgotten how precious the blood of Jesus is. We are so comfortable and we are so busy and we lose our focus. But if we would wake up every morning and think about the price that Jesus paid on Calvary, and think about the blood that He shed for us, and think about where we used to be and where we could be, we would change this world. We would have a shout that no enemy can take away from us. Can I get a big amen? We've been in revival all week. We're excited. We're thankful for the blood, and we're thankful for what God has done. And I don't ever want to lose the excitement. Lord, bring us back to our first love.
Yes, God.
Have you watched the news lately? You know what? We need revival. We need revival. And it's going to happen when we go to our first love. When we forget everything else and we say, Lord, just renew me. I want to fall in love with you one more time. I want you to be first in everything I do. And can I get a big amen? I know y'all are tired. I know you've been sitting here a while. I just want to say thank you once again for letting us come. We are honored to be, always honored to be in London, Kentucky. I'm a Kentucky girl. I'm not from London. I'm from Beaverton, Kentucky.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry. That's Western Kentucky. Mike tells me that this is the best part of the state. He says we're a little bit weird in Western Kentucky. But I'm still a Wildcat fan, so that works, right? And I will say this, I'll consider this my second home in Kentucky because it's Mike's home and y'all are so good to him. And I'm honored. We've been married 18 years now. We're going on 19 years, and it's an honor to be his wife. And I know you guys love him. You don't go to your hometown too often. My hometown don't love me like y'all love Mike. I don't know where I messed up, but y'all love your hometown people, and that says a lot about you as a place. And so we thank you for being so kind to us, and we are honored to be here. You know our story. If you know us, you know that God, we had a wreck 6 years ago, and that God just delivered us from a horrible situation, and that it's a miracle to even see this family here because we very easily could not be here. And we suffered injuries that could have taken us down, and I suffered a broken back. We hit a semi. We were going 60 miles an hour. Our bus hit a semi. Not that bus. But we were changed forever by the accident that took place. Mike suffered bleeding on his brain, a fractured skull. They life-flighted him, and one of our daughters who lost a lot of blood from a deep laceration to her face, and her blood pressure bottomed out. The rest of us were beat up and bruised up, but we found out that my back was broken. Long story short, Mike and I took about 6 or 7 months to recuperate from the injuries that it's a miracle we walked away from. If you could see the bus, and many of you have, you know what I'm talking about. And so we are thankful today for the grace of God. We are thankful that He's still a healer. We are thankful that He still answers prayers. You might say, why do you even stop to talk? I'll never shut up about how good God has been to me. I will never shut my mouth, ever, about how good God has been to me. To those that have been through a lot, they have to speak up. And some of you are sitting here today, and you, according to your diagnosis, you should already be dead. And according to your diagnosis, you should not be sitting here. But the mighty hand of God has kept you, and the enemy has tried to take you, but God has said, I get to have the final say over their life. And I feel that's what happened to us on July 1st, 2010. The enemy wanted desperately to shut us up. The enemy wanted desperately for us to go home and think that God had forgotten us. But guess what? God showed up in the middle of the valley, in the middle of the chaos, in the middle of the pain and the broken bones and the fractured skull. God showed up in such a way that He had to get all the credit for everything that happened to us. And we won't forget, and we're not going to shut up. So there, devil, take that. We're excited about how this tent. You might say there's not that many of us here. There don't have to be a lot of us here for God to show up. He don't need a big crowd to do the miraculous. He needs 2 or 3 that will gather in His name. He said, I'll be in the midst of them. He needs a few that will believe. And I don't know about you, but I believe that He is able today. If you've come here and you're in a desperate situation and you need God to show up, the next song is just for you. And we want to dedicate it to everybody that is standing in the gap right now, believing for God to do something. I'm going to stand with you and Mike and Hope. We're going to stand with you. And the very same God that healed us out of that wreck and that lifted us up out of that valley and financially provided for us when we did not have a dime, sustained us for almost a year financially through His people without one paycheck coming in. You tell me there is no God, I won't believe you. He is the God of provision, and some of you need to know that today. He is still a provider, and He will make a way for you. This is the song for you. The Bible says, who is this man that even the winds and the waves must obey Him? His name is Jesus. If you're thankful for Jesus, one more time, say, God, I give you all the praise, and I give you the glory.
Crossing the calm sea with Jesus, the disciples were getting concerned. The wind started violently blowing, that He was asleep in the stern. Does He not care that we perish? We're helpless, we're so afraid. Jesus arose when they called Him. He said to them, where is your faith? Because you prayed all night, because you held on with all of your might. Child of Christ, have broken the Master. Oh, He knows your voice. Lift your hands, it's time to rejoice. Child of Christ, have broken the Master. And many of you believe God still answers prayers. Amen. Hit you without any warning. That storm of your life had begun. Seeing no hope in the distance. I've been there. You're frightened and nowhere to run. By now your vessel is filling, and you're thinking that you'll surely drown. You've cried out for help from the Savior. You know you can't give up now, because you prayed all night, because you held on with all of your might. Child of Christ, have broken the Master. Oh, He knows your voice. Lift your hands, it's time to rejoice. Child of Christ, have broken the Master. Listen, you're out there worried, the He's fast asleep. The winds are so dead, the water's so deep. But try to be patient, soon He'll bring peace. Just one word from His voice, and I'll not cease. Because you prayed about it, all your life. Child of Christ, have broken the Master. Oh, He knows your voice. Lift your hands, it's time to rejoice. Child of Christ, have broken the Master. Oh, child of Christ, have broken the Master. love.